Hi everyone, my name is Shayla and I'm the student recruiter for the College of Health Sciences. And today I would like to talk to you about the Casper test, which is a part of the admission requirements for our nursing programs. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge that the University of Alberta is located on Treaty 6 territory and respects the histories, languages, and cultures of First Nations, Métis, and Inuit, and all First Peoples of Canada whose presence continues to enrich our vibrant community. And here is the agenda for the session today. I understand that this test may be anxiety-inducing, but that's why I'm here today to provide you with as much information as I can and to help you feel prepared and calm and confident for when you write the Casper exam. So first, I'm going to be going over what the Casper test actually is and some more information on Acuity Insights, who is the distributor of the Casper exam. Then I'm going to highlight what you should expect from the Casper exam, examples, the format, timing, the platform as well, and some example scenarios and questions that are directly from Acuity Insights. This is to give you an idea of what to expect from the questions on your test. Next, we will look at how the Casper is used in terms of assessments and the admission process at the U of A. I will then go over the details of the test, how to register for it. And then lastly, we will have some FAQ information. So before we begin with the Casper information, I would like to mention that I am not employed or connected with Acuity Insights, and any issues with your Casper test or any further questions about navigating their website and the Casper assessment should be directed to the Acuity Insights team. There will be a QR code displayed later in the presentation that will provide you with the information on how to contact the Acuity Insights team. So what is the Casper test? The Casper test is roughly 90 to 110 minutes, and you will take it online on your own device. It is an open response situational judgment test. Think of it more of like a morale test rather than completing equations. It also follows the rule of one. You can only take the exam once per admission cycle, and it is also only valid for one admission cycle. And just a quick note for any students who do self-declare as First Nations, Métis, or Inuit on the application, you are not required to complete a Casper assessment. So Casper is already open. It's been open since September 23rd, 2025, and it will close May 5th, 2026. This is a holistic review beyond what your academics can show us. They want to see if you can think quickly on your feet and show problem-solving skills in difficult or uncomfortable situations. They want to understand your thought process and see where your instincts will take you. They want to see how your mind works in situations that are difficult, especially as a nurse, since the work that you will be doing has a sensitive nature to it. Please make sure that you are in a quiet space and alone and that there are no distractions or interruptions. Make yourself comfortable, make sure you have water, go to the bathroom beforehand. The exam will allow you to take short breaks if you need it, but it is good to be prepared, sit down, and put all of your focus into the exam. The questions that will be asked are not necessarily medically related. These are just everyday situations that could involve anyone, such as family, friends, coworkers, etc. An example of this would be you are a coworker. So Mary, the volunteer coordinator, sent thank you notes to both Chloe and Eric for their volunteering efforts, but only Chloe's note included money. What, if anything, should Chloe do in this situation? Explain your reasoning. And then another example of a question after this would be, imagine that Eric frequently funds his volunteering efforts with his own money. How, if at all, does this affect your previous response? Explain your reasoning. So these are just a couple of sample questions that you might be asked on your prep test or a test. Just keep these in mind for what you might be asked. So as a nurse, you will be working with a variation of patients, from sick and sensitive people to infants. The questions they ask are vague and difficult, as you see above, and this is on purpose. They want to see that comfort and confidence are an instinct, and this is for you to demonstrate this so that they can see that you are a right fit for the program. So here I actually have a short video of information on what to expect and common questions and concerns. So some things to keep in mind as they are mentioned in this video. Again, I mentioned this before, but please make sure that you won't be interrupted. It is important to find a quiet space to work out of so you won't be distracted by anyone or anything during your exam. And if you are worried about your internet, it would be best to plug in your computer or laptop via Ethernet cable for more secure connection.
What to expect during the test. The Casper test will present you with a number of scenarios that simulate social or workplace dilemmas. You will be given time to respond to each scenario, describe how you deal with the situation, and explain your reasoning. How are your responses recorded? Casper is divided into 2 response sections. In the first section, you will be asked to give your responses on video. In the second section, you'll be asked to type your responses. There's an optional break between the 2 sections, as well as midway through the typed response section, so you can take a few minutes to stretch your legs, grab a snack, or go to the bathroom. How much time do you have for each scenario? After each scenario is shown, you will have 30 seconds of reflection time to think about how you want to respond. For the video response section, you will have 1 minute per question to record your response. Your recording will be uploaded automatically once the timer runs out. For the typed response section, you will have 5 minutes per scenario to type your response, and your responses are automatically saved. What happens when the timer runs out before you finish your response? If the timer runs out before you finish answering, don't panic. This happens to a lot of applicants. Relax, take a deep breath, and start fresh on the next question or scenario. If you finish responding before the timer runs out, you can click Submit to move on. But note that you won't be able to go back once you click Submit. Important reminders. Number 1. Please remember you must take the test alone without the assistance of outside personnel or technology, unless you have explicit approval for testing accommodations from the Acuity team. Number 2. You must use a desktop or laptop computer with a working webcam and microphone. Note that mobile devices, including tablets and iPads, are not supported. Number 3. High-speed internet is required for Casper. Double check that anyone sharing your internet isn't streaming videos, downloading files, or playing video games. Number 4. Make sure your Chrome or Firefox browser is up to date. These are the only supported browsers. Number 5. Be sure to disable any browser plugins or web applications. These are known to interfere with the test and could impact your final score. Finally, if you experience any technical issues, just click on the chat bubble in the bottom right-hand corner of your test screen to talk to one of our live test support agents. We're here to help.
So here is a quick checklist of how to prepare for the Casper test. So first, you want to make an account and then verify the account. Next, you will want to reserve a test date, so make sure it is the right test date for you. After, you will want to complete a system check, so make sure you have access to a working keyboard, microphone, video, and audio. And then I also highly recommend taking the Casper practice test. It will take approximately an hour and a half to complete. You will not get a score after the completion of the practice test. You can exit the practice test at any time. Progress will be saved for 2 hours before resetting. You also have an unlimited amount of tries to retake the practice test. The purpose of this is to familiarize yourself with the Casper test platform and format. You could take this directly on Acuity Insights. I do not recommend taking it through any other third-party website, as this is the direct source for more accurate information and preparation. And if you require testing accommodations for the Casper test, you will need to submit the accommodations request form signed by you and your qualified professional 4 weeks in advance of your desired test date. You can find the request form and more information on the QR code for accommodations that will be shared at the end of the presentation. So here is an example scenario. So the question will be displayed so you can reflect on it. You will be notified how much time you have to answer the question. Try not to focus too much on the time, but how you actually want to answer the question. Remember when we talked about how these questions are not strictly medically related? This scenario is a perfect example of this. You can agree or disagree, but you need to explain your answer from an empathetic perspective. And as a nurse, you will be working in teams. So this scenario prompts you to reflect how you will support a team member that is struggling, and it is a good question to see how you will work in teams.
Hey guys.
You're late.
I know, I'm sorry.
The charity run is in a few days. We have to be ready.
I'm trying, okay? It's just been like the longest day.
Have you raised your share of the donation money? If we make $200 each, the organization will top off our donation by $1,000.
Yeah, I've got like $20 raised so far, and
You're not even trying. This is not supposed to be a chore. We're raising money for sick kids.
Look, I get it, okay? But honestly, I don't think I have the time to dedicate to this anymore. I thought I did, but if I'm gonna be honest, I just want out.
We won't find a replacement runner in just 2 days. Besides, the three of us are the best relay runners I know. What do we do?
So here we have the scenario questions here. The first question is, do you think that your teammate who arrived late for practice should quit the relay team? Why or why not? And then here we have the second question. It's, imagine that your teammate decides to stay on the relay team. How can the team ensure that they reach their collective goals in this situation? Explain your response. So these are the type of questions to expect, especially on the prep test as well as the Casper test to help you prepare. What would you do in this situation? Maybe take some time to reflect and see how you would answer these questions. So admission decisions are based on both academics and Casper test results. Applications cannot be assessed before Casper results have been received. Casper results can take up to 4 to 6 weeks before the university receives them, so when results are received and added to your application, your Launchpad account will be updated. Snapshots and duets were used in previous assessments. You do not need to worry about this for the fall 2026 admission. Your only focus should be on completing the Casper test. And here are a list of instructions for how to register for the test. I encourage everyone to take a screenshot or photo so you know which options to select when you are looking to register for the exam. Please keep in mind that you can write the Casper in French or English. You can choose whichever preference works best for you. And here we have some FAQs. What score do I need? The U of A Faculty of Nursing does not actually release the scores used for admission. These scores change every single year, so they cannot share which scores are accepted and which scores are denied, unfortunately. Applicants will receive a quartile score after your Casper has been graded, but the U of A will receive the actual score. If your score does not allow you admission into the program, this may allow you to reflect on the type of profession that is better suited for you. It would be recommended to reach out to a counselor to see what other programs may be a good fit for you. Can I still take the Casper if I've already applied? Students should first apply to the Bachelor of Science in Nursing program, then complete the Casper so that is added to your application. As mentioned, it is recommended that you take your Casper after you apply. If you have already taken it before you apply, please contact me to let me know that you have completed it, and then I can reach out to admissions to make sure your files get merged together correctly. And should I study for the Casper test? I definitely recommend taking the prep test to help familiarize yourself with the platform and how the test is conducted. It is very important to be familiar with the platform. Spelling and grammar generally don't matter. However, the Casper rater needs to be able to comprehend your thought process. If there are multiple errors in your writing, it might be harder for them to decipher the points you are trying to make. So try and be as clear as possible. I also recommend that you practice your typing skills if you find yourself to be a bit of a slower typer. So Casper is the first stepping stone in the application process. Applications are assessed on a rolling basis, so any other part of your application will not be looked at until Casper has been assessed and the score is acceptable. This is why we want you to apply and do your Casper test sooner rather than later. Please feel free to scan these QR codes. These will share some important information about the Casper test itself. So we have the Casper prep test, the Casper FAQ and info, the Casper contact page, and then the accommodations page. If you're interested in learning more about our nursing programs, please feel free to visit our website, ualberta.ca/nursing. And if you would like to sign up to receive more U of A information, event alerts, and updates and more, please feel free to scan that QR code. And if you do have any questions for me, please feel free to email me, nursing.recruiting@ualberta.ca. Thank you so much.